5 eggs. Here the week's practically over, and that's all you come up with. Come out with. You girls ought to be ashamed of yourself. Of course, it could be my fault. I thought this would be an inspiration to you. But it could be giving you a complex. I borrowed this from a friend of mine who runs an ostrich farm. Now, there's an egg for you. Only takes about 6 of these to make a dozen. That's what the foreign birds are coming out with.
Uncle Joe, this came in the mail for you.
Oh, yeah. That's a record I sent for. Music for chickens to lay eggs by. This'll do the trick.
You think it will actually make the hens lay more eggs?
What can't miss? It's one of them Latin rhythm numbers.
That does it, huh?
Yeah, it's the beat of them bongos and the click of the cucarachas. You start this record to play and you'll have a dozen eggs before you can say cha-cha-cha.
Golly. By the way, Uncle Joe, does the name Flora Belle Campbell mean anything to you?
Flora Belle Campbell?
Does it ring a bell?
Not only rings bells, it sends up rockets. When'd you hear from her?
She sent a letter asking for reservations.
You mean she's coming here?
This weekend.
No kidding.
Sounds like she's someone special.
Yeah, there wasn't many guys around that didn't secretly pine for old Flora Belle.
Including you, Uncle Joe?
Well, I didn't have to pine. You see, in those days, not bragging, but I was known as Hooterville's answer to Richard Dix.
Richard who?
Oh, well, I suppose in this day and age you'd say Arthur Godfrey. When did she say she was coming?
Tomorrow.
Well, wardrobe together? I got to line up a session with the barber? I don't think I can get it all in. Don't think that'll let you off the hook. I'm keeping track of your daily output. Whoever misses her quota, just remember we're getting mighty close to the chicken and dumpling season. Okay, Gertrude, knock it off.
Hi, Billy Joe.
Hi, Mr. Drucker.
When's she coming?
When's who coming?
Flora Belle Campbell.
Sam, what do you know about Flora Belle Campbell?
Oh, hi, Joe. Oh, not much. I just sort of figured she might be showing up here.
What gave you that idea?
Well, this morning when I was sorting through the mail, I happened to see the name Flora Belle Campbell on a return address. And all of a sudden, it just leaped out at me.
How come it did that?
Well, Joe, when a name out of the past, especially when she's an old flame, hits you in the eye, you're going to sit up and take notice.
Flora Belle Campbell, an old flame of yours. Ha, ha, ha.
You mean you've forgotten how she used to fall all over me? I was catnip to that girl.
Dream on, Romeo.
Oh, boy, as long as I live, I'll never forget that picnic in Volunteer Park. After she cheered me on the victory in the peanut race, I took her up to Observation Point. I had her in stitches. She thought I was the funniest thing since Cohen on the telephone.
Some lover. Take a girl up to Observation Point and tell her jokes.
Well, she wanted to smooch, but after the peanut race, my nose was too tender for the task.
Well, you may have taken her to Observation Point, but I'm the one that was on the Ferris wheel with her.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but don't you remember? The Ferris wheel blew a fuse. We were stuck at the top for 2 hours.
I suppose you're trying to tell me you got in a little kissing.
A little kissing? I couldn't play my cornet for a week. Oh, sorry, girls.
Oh, that's okay. Sounds like there's going to be quite a rivalry when Miss Campbell gets here.
No, all that's a thing of the past for me. Through with all that foolishness. Right, Sam?
Oh, yeah. Once the old torch flickers out, a fellow might just well forget it.
I'm with you. Oh, if I'd happen to run into her, I'd politely tip my hat, give her a howdy-do, and go on my way.
Well, yeah, right. There's no sense getting involved. Well, that's all I rushed down here to, that's all I just happened to drop in to find out about. I'll see you. Oh, by the way, if I should miss her, you might just mention that I asked about her.
Yeah, I'll tell old what's-her-name you said hello.
Golly, Uncle Joe, does this mean you're really not interested in Miss Campbell after all?
You are young.
Hi, Bert.
Howdy, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, hi, Ralph.
Hey, guess what I heard? Flora Belle Campbell's coming to town. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
Is that all you got to say? You remember Flora Belle, don't you?
Yeah, I remember Miss Campbell quite well.
Miss Campbell. Hey, did you get that, Bert? He's probably the type of guy that would take her out to observation point and tell her jokes. Oh, tell her jokes. Put that on my bill, Bert. I'll see you later. Sit down, Sam.
Sure a crash fellow, that Ralph. Well, not that he's not a nice enough guy and all that, but crash, you know what I mean. Well, I don't mind a fella talking about girls, but just don't like them to be,
Crash.
now you hit it.
What can I do for you, Sam? The usual? Quick trim?
Well, no, I think I might go for a little more this time.
Such as?
Well, shave and a haircut and trim the mustache, a massage and a facial and thin down the eyebrows.
What's the occasion?
Oh, nothing. I just,
Somebody get married? Somebody passed on?
Same thing, you know.
Just tossing a little humor there. I got it. You're gonna go out sparking with somebody, right? Am I right?
Oh, criminy, Bert. When you come into my store and get a pound of rutabagas, I don't ask you, what do you want them for?
Hey, Sam, you don't have to tell me. It's just that I feel that if a man can't confide in his barber, where can he turn?
All right, Bert, all right. The reason I want all this stuff is because... shave first, Bert. Give me the towel. Towel, quick, towel.
Hi, Bert.
Hi, Joe.
Well, see, you got a customer.
No, sit right here. You know what we say at Bert's, 2 chairs, no waiting.
But there's only one of you.
Well, that's all right. I can work from one to the other. You see, while I'm steaming, sir, I can get started on you. Now, what'll it be?
Well, you give me a shave and a haircut for starters.
For starters.
Then you can give me some of that, and that, and that. Better yet, just hit me with anything that smells.
What's the occasion?
Oh, I don't mind telling you, I guess. Little gal coming to town that's mighty sweet on yours truly.
It wouldn't be Flora Belle Campbell, would it?
How'd you know?
Oh, word's going around. So she's coming to see you, huh?
Well, she didn't say so in so many words, but it's pretty obvious. Oh, don't mention this to Sam Drucker if he should happen to drop in, which I doubt. I think he cuts his own hair, and he should ever sprout through that melon of his.
Joe, the fact of the matter is...
How close do you want it, you double-crosser?
Wait a minute. That was you.
Right. So we both caught each other. If that's the way you want to play from now on, no holds barred.
Right. No holds barred.
Petticoat Junction will return after these messages. And now, back to Petticoat Junction.
Sam, ain't you got a store to run?
Oh, yeah, I do, but for an important occasion like this, I got Eb to run it for me. Hey, there's a cannonball now.
Yep, that's her. Well, of all the dirty, low-down tricks, going to greet her with a box of candy. Lucky I had this.
Wasn't that the cannonball, Uncle Joe?
Yep, that was her.
We'll go down and help you greet Miss Campbell.
Sure. You come along with me and I'll show you how a champ operates.
Is this Pixley? No, ma'am. This is Shady Rest. Well, I'm not getting off here.
I am. Pardon me, please.
So this is Shady Rest.
Yes, ma'am. And this is Billy Joe Bradley.
Hello.
And Miss Bobby Joe Bradley.
How do you do?
Miss Flora Belle Campbell.
Glad to have you with us.
Thank you. My, you're awfully pretty for a couple of Joes.
Thank you.
Now, you're not going to take that luggage.
Oh, allow me.
Isn't he a doll?
Well, Sam, she's all yours.
All mine.
That's right. I'm bowing out. You win.
Oh, thanks a lot. That's like winning first prize at a virus contest. Boy, what a difference a few short years make.
Remember when the boy used to say, there ain't enough of Florabelle to go around? Now there ain't enough of us to go around her.
Well,
Where you going?
I got a store to run, remember?
But who's going to meet Florabelle? I ain't dressed.
Well, that's just too bad, because I sure ain't.
You sure ain't what?
I sure ain't gonna do anything but act like a perfect gentleman, as always.
That's Florabelle.
Yeah, I know. You gonna meet her dressed like that?
Don't you say nothing more than howdy till I get back. Play fair.
Surprise. Sweets for the sweet.
Thank you.
Oh, and these two, of course.
Why, that dirty so-and-so.
The hotel certainly knows how to treat guests.
Oh, Mr. Drucker isn't with the Shady Rest.
I'm Sam. Oh, it's Sam Drucker. Volunteer Park, the annual picnic. Observation Point.
That poor goofball, she don't even remember him. How are you, Florabelle? See, you got my flowers.
Oh, yes. Thank you. They're lovely, Mr.
Joe.
Joe.
Joe Carson. Volunteer Park. Picnic. The, Ferris wheel.
Miss Florabelle Campbell, allow me to present Mr. Joe Carson and Mr. Sam Drucker.
How do you do? It's nice to meet you both.
Hi, Bert.
Hey, Sam.
Bert, I just came to bring back this rosewater and bay rum.
There's something wrong with him?
Oh, no. Just I won't be needing them, that's all.
What happened, Sam? Did you strike out with Florabelle?
Never you mind.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Well, I could have told you that. She probably didn't even recognize you. Oh, no kidding. She really didn't, huh? Well, that don't surprise me none. You can't make an impression telling jokes out there on Observation Point, not with a babe like Florabelle.
Don't you call her a babe.
Did I hurt Loverboy's feelings? Well, I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you what I'd do with a dish like Florabelle, especially out there on Observation Point. To begin with, there'd be no talking. No, sirree. Why, I'd take a babe like her.
Why don't you just keep your big trap shut? Bert, what do you let a guy like this hang around here for? He's just plain crass, that's all he is. You can just credit those to my account. So long.
Ah, say, there's one for the books, Bert. Gets himself all duded up and she don't even know who he is.
Well,
Yeah?
why don't you take your loafing someplace else?
Huh?
I just realized that Sam's right. You're crass.
Petticoat Junction will return after these messages. And now, back to Petticoat Junction.
Come on in.
Lunch is ready. What's all that?
Oh, nothing. Just a dumb idea I had, I guess.
What is it?
Well, I thought it'd kind of be kicks when Florabelle got here to kind of relive the old days. So I got out my ukulele and... Oh, forget it. Florabelle don't want to remember the old days. She sure doesn't want to remember me.
Maybe she really has forgotten you.
No. Girl, don't forget spending 2 hours on a Ferris wheel with a fella. Would you?
I haven't lived very much. You really think she doesn't want to remember you?
What else can I believe? Well, if that's the way she wants it, that's the way it's gonna be.
Darn her. I've got a good mind to tell her what I think of her.
Oh, now, young'un, you can't blame Florabelle just because I sort of overrated myself.
Well, I think she's just hateful.
Well, why? Because she didn't recognize them? That's not exactly a crime, you know.
It is if you hurt someone like she hurt Uncle Joe. And you saw Mr. Drucker. He was just crushed.
Well, maybe she didn't know him as well as they thought she did. That can happen.
Huh, well, I can prove otherwise. Look at this old yearbook we dug up.
So?
There. That's Mr. Drucker.
You're kidding.
And Florabelle, and here's Uncle Joe.
That's Uncle Joe?
You think she never knew him? Look what she wrote. To a keen guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty passionate, all right. Of course, it'll never replace How Do I Love Thee. Let me count the ways.
All I know is I wish I could see her and tell her exactly what I think. Oh, my gosh. Here she comes.
Well, I think she looks pretty nice. Why don't we invite her in?
Steve?
Why don't we throw her down the well? Company, dear.
Hello, I'm Florabelle Campbell.
We know.
We're Mr. and Mrs. Elliott. Won't you come in?
Oh, thank you. I've been dying to see the inside of this darling little cottage. Oh, it's absolutely enchanting.
Really?
You know, long ago, I had a dream that this would make an ideal honeymoon cottage. Of course, by now, I figured it'd be a tumble-down shack.
Well, that's about what it was a couple of months ago.
We're a honeymoon couple. We fixed it up.
Well, it's just as it should be. It's adorable.
Oh, would you like to see the kitchen?
Huh?
Right in here.
Honey, when are you going to tell her off? What's the matter? This is a perfect time to give her a piece of your mind.
Those cute red curtains, did you make them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're perfect. Is anything the matter?
Oh, no.
My wife wanted to tell you something before, but, well, now she doesn't.
Oh, why not?
Oh, because you're not hateful after all. Oh, gosh. That didn't come out the way it was supposed to.
How was it supposed to come out?
Well, how come you were so mean to my uncle and Mr. Drucker?
Mean? How?
Well, you don't know how they were looking forward to your visit and to meeting you, and you didn't even recognize them.
Recognize him? I just met him.
I'll say you met him. Look at this.
I haven't seen one of those things in years.
Whose is it? My uncle's. Isn't that a picture of you?
Oh, and with a Marcel.
Look what you wrote to my uncle.
To a keen guy, and he probably was. Because I have to admit, I wrote that to a lot of fellas. It seemed to satisfy them without promising too much. Which one's your uncle?
Right there.
Slim Carson.
Slim Carson?
Then you did know him.
Know him? Honey, once we went up on a Ferris wheel and... should have underlined keen.
Well, how about that one?
Curly Drucker. Oh, Curly and his jokes. What do the Irish call potatoes? They don't call them, they dig them. And that was one of the good ones.
Well, if you knew my Uncle Joe and Mr. Drucker, how come you didn't recognize them this morning?
Oh, honey, they've come a long way since Curly and Slim.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't hurt them for the world. I love them both as friends. What can I do to make it up?
It's not too late.
You got an idea, honey?
Uh-huh. Uncle Joe was planning something for this evening, and I think I can talk him into going through with it. Please, Uncle Joe. It'll work, I just know it will.
Why? She didn't recognize me this morning.
But she wasn't seeing you the way she knows you and remembers you.
Well, okay. But I've made a fool out of myself once, and I sure don't want it to happen again.
It won't. Believe me.
You think he's backed out?
We can't.
Uncle Joe! Uncle Joe!
I'll be right there.
Slim Carson.
Me? Oh, Florabelle, you remembered me.
How could I forget? And how could I forget that night on the Ferris wheel?
I'm still dangerous, you know.
Curly Drucker. Look who's here.
Yeah, Curly. Put it back on, you'll blow the bed.
Oh, Florabelle, you remembered.
Observation point.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear about the nearsighted porcupine that married a pincushion? What has 4 wheels and flies?
I don't know.
A garbage wagon. Oh, how do you get down off a horse? You don't get down off a horse, you get down off a duck. Hey, how's that for a wisecrack?
Oh, don't be a fighter.
No.
Be a lover.
5'2", eyes of blue. But oh, what those 5 foot could do. Has anybody seen my gal? Turn up nose, turn down hose, never had no other nose. Has anybody seen my gal? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with birds, diamond rings and all those things, I bet your life it isn't her. But could she love? Could she woo? Could she woo? Has anybody seen my gal? Girl, my dreams, I love you. Honest, I do. You are so sweet. If I could just hold your charms again in my arms, then life would be complete. Since you've been gone, dear, life don't seem the same. Please.
Hey, what's going on in here? Don't let me break it up. I was just swinging by on my way to Observation Point. Hi there, Florabelle.
Hi, Ralph.
See y'all later.
I still say he's crass.
Sure, he's crass. But him she remembered.
And after all said and done, there's only one girl of my dreams. It's you.
Today, it's your rare chance to see big Hollywood legends explore the medium of television. Our stars this week are Kim Basinger, Julie Andrews, and Rock Hudson on Big Stars Little Screen. Our Saturday Cavalcade today, Eastern 9 Pacific, only on TV Land. Now stay tuned for Green Acres as Hooterville Saturday continues here in TV Land.
Petticoat Junction.